Alright, so if you want to pause the video real quick, this is the first slide, I know, but this is an important page. I am going to show you examples with these, but these are your bare bone equations for a recursive formula. So we already talked about in previous videos what these subscripts mean. I've just written them out in words for you. So they both, if you notice, have the same buildup to begin with. They have a sub n equals a sub n minus 1. And the only difference is you're either going to add or subtract your common difference or multiply it by your common ratio. And remember, your r, you're always going to be multiplying, so that's why I didn't put divide there as an option. So, pause this if you need to. If not, we're going on. So on this one, if I want to write the recursive formula, we're going to say, you always want to state what the first term is. So a sub 1 equals 2, and then put a semicolon. And then again, for our purposes, we're going to say a sub n equals a sub n minus 1. Remember, that's always how you start. So the current term equals the previous term. And then in this case, it's a d, so that means we're adding or subtracting. And since it's a positive 3, we're adding 3. And that doesn't go down in the subscript. That's up top. So that's it. That's the recursive formula. Alright, on this one, you've got a sub 1 equals 200. And then you've got a sub n again equals a sub n minus 1. And this time it's multiplied by 1/2. So that's all it is. Alright, let's try this one. So on this one, we are adding 6 each time. So that means we have another arithmetic sequence. Got my m. So we'll have a sub, let's do our a sub 1 first. A sub 1 equals 4. And then we have a sub n equals a sub n minus 1, our previous term. And then since it's arithmetic, we have a common difference of 6. So it is plus 6. So there's your recursive formula. Alright, on this one, you need to figure out if we're adding or subtracting or maybe neither. So we could say that we are adding 12, but that will not work for the next step. So this is actually multiplied by 3. So this is geometric, which means we have a common ratio, and that's 3, the number we're multiplying by each time. So a sub 1 equals 6, and then a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 times 3. And there's your formula. So it's the same thing, it's patterns. Alright, so I want you to write the recursive rule, the formula. Don't forget your first term. And then come back and check your answers in a minute. The last one I want you to try. It's a challenge, but try it. And it's more of a challenge just because you got to know how to write the right equation. So pause it and come back in just a minute. Alright, here's your answers. A sub 1 equals 4, and then times 3 on the top one. A sub 1 equals 7 on the second one, and then you're adding 4. It's a common difference. The third one, a sub 1 equals 25, that's your first term. And then you needed to find out what was happening. This time they didn't give it to you, so you should see that it's subtracting 4 every time. So that means d equals 4. Oop, and I made a mistake on my answer key. D equals negative 4. I put it over here correctly. So it's a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 minus 4, big minus 4, not down in the subscript. And this bottom one, it's dividing by 12. I'm sure you could have seen that pattern probably. But like I said, the challenge came more so in did you write the actual equation correctly? Because remember, r needs to imply multiplication when we put it in our formula. So if you said divide by 12, you're not wrong, but you need to write it as 1 over 12 for your r value. Because if you put r equals 12, that's implying you multiplied by 12, and we don't want that. Alright, so until next time, keep practicing.